Okay, welcome to Math 31, Section 3.4, Examples for Problem Solvings with Linear Equations. In example A, we have the phrase, the quotient of 90 and a number. 90 and a number with a division between it is what this becomes. So you'd say 90 divided by x using the fraction bar style. The word yields translates into an equal sign. And so example A is done. On example B, I'm going to start with some of the problematic phrases in English, and subtracted from is one of them. The reason it's problematic is that it subtracted from is a minus sign, but you have to reverse the order that's given to you in the original. So negative 11 follows the minus sign, and then a number here, or the unknown, has to be in front of it. So there's a switch here in the order, and that's important to know. If you get subtraction turned around, you're dealing with a different problem, and you got it wrong. On example C, twice. Twice means times 2, but the question is, what are we multiplying by 2? Well, it says twice the sum of 12 and a number. Well, here's the sum of 12 and a number. Sum means adding. And we're supposed to take twice that. So you double the whole sum, and in order to do that, you have to use parentheses in an algebra sentence. Notice that the phrase for the equal sign is the same as. That is often shortened to just the verb is. Okay, on example D, we have 5 added to a number. This is also a reversed version of it means addition, but you have to reverse the order here. So the 5 has to follow the adding, and the 15 times the number part of it has to be in front. And that's also problematic. Now you'll notice that we have here is the equal sign. So just a shortened version of is the same as. All right, on example E, we have a reverse subtraction coming at us. Less than is probably the most common version of this problem. And I do mark a lot of students wrong for not internalizing this part here. So perk up here. Less than is indeed a subtraction. A lot of people get that right. But you have to put the order backwards. It says 7. Let me use a different color here. The 7 that precedes the less than phrase in the original sentence has to follow it when you put it on paper. And likewise, the quotient of a number and 5, that quotient of a number and 5 has to go in front. So you have to switch the order in which the original problem was presented to you. Okay, then it just says equals -2. It says is -2 in the original problem. Okay, 3 times a number plus 10 is 40. Now, that's an easy problem, but it gets confused with the example in G, so I have them both on screen here. On example G, we're also multiplying something by 3, but what we're multiplying by 3 is not the number, but the sum of the number and 10. So here's the sum of the number and 10, and in order to multiply all of that sum by 3, you have to use parentheses around it. So that's the correct way to approach that problem. Okay, once we get to example H, so we're supposed to translate, but we're also supposed to solve. So let me just go through the translation steps here. Subtracted from is a reverse subtraction, so you can see that 6 times a number goes behind it. And the 11 that's mentioned behind it ends up in front of it. Okay, the next thing we're going to do here is we're going to subtract 11 from both sides. And that looks like, let me just get something that contrasts here. This 11 becomes a negative 11 on the other side. So anytime you take an addition to one side, you make it a subtraction and vice versa. But what's really happening on that step is that I'm subtracting 11 from both sides. And that puts my variables on the left and my other constants on the right. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do here is we're going to simplify and divide by -6 to finish the problem. Okay, example I, triple the sum of a number in 5. Here is the sum of a number in 5. That's what that is, and we're supposed to triple that. So you can see I multiplied by 3. And then on the other side of the equal sign, it says 21 less than the product of -6 and a number. So less than is a reverse subtraction. So when it says less than, you got to put the stuff that follows it, the product of -6 and a number, in front of the minus sign, and you're going to put the stuff that was in front of the minus sign, or in front on the sentence behind the minus sign. So you can see it's all arranged backwards there on that last half. Okay, the next step here, I'm simply moving stuff from side to side. So this 15 becomes a -15. And this -6x becomes a +6x. And the goal here is to have all our variables on one side and all our constant numbers on the other side. That's how you decide what has to move. Simplify the left side to 9x, simplify the right side where it says -21 minus 15 to -36, and divide by 9 to finish the job. Okay, 18 decreased by twice a number. Boom. 18 decreased by twice a number is the same as the quotient of 36 and 3. Quotient of 36 and 3. Okay, you can see that I'm moving this 18 over to the other side. And then once you've done that, you've gathered all your variables on one side and you've got your constant numbers on the other side. Simplify 12 minus 18 and divide by -2 to finish the job. Okay, example K here says the product of 6 and a number. So that's the product of 6 and a number there. Hang on, let me get the right tool. The product of 6 and a number is 6x, is 4 times the difference. Difference means subtraction, and it's not reversed. So the difference of a number and 3 right there, but we're supposed to take 4 times that amount, 4 times the difference. These problems, when you have parentheses in them, you should distribute first, and that's what's happening when you go from that line down to that line. I multiplied both parts of it by 4. And then the 4x has to go over and join its partner over on the other side. So you can see that 4x becomes -4x when I take it over. Simplify the left side to 2x and divide by 2 to finish the job. Okay, we are on the last section here, the downhill section, and I've got a little bit of a head start on it. Let me read the problem briefly here. 2 sacks of dry beans are weighed together on a scale. Their combined weight is 21 pounds. If the larger sack weighs 11 pounds more than the smaller, how much does the large sack of beans weigh? Well, you want to attack these problems in the same starting position, okay? You want to identify the two amounts that you're looking for here, and in the end, that top one is what we're really looking for, is just the large sack amount, because it asks us about that. Which one gets the label of X? Well, you decide that using the sentence I have highlighted in blue here, where the two amounts are compared. And it tells us the large sack weighs 11 more than the smaller sack. Now, the word than, when you see the phrase that follows it, that's where you put your X. That's just an instant hint there. And now the other one compares with it 11 more than that. So 11 plus X. Okay, once you have that set up, and please don't skip this section here. Write that out. Identify your variables, okay? So we are representing the weight of the small sack as X, and the large sack is 11 more than X. So now it tells us to combine those two to get 21. So let's show you where that shows up. the weight of the large sack plus the weight of the small sack adds up to 21 pounds. Okay, the rest of this is finding the value of x. We'll actually have another step when we're done with that. So first of all, I combined the x's to get 2x. I take the 11 over to the other side and make it negative 11 and simplify 21 minus 11 and divide by 2 to get 5 for x. Now here's the tough part, okay? This x value is 5. But they're not asking in this problem for the small sack's weight. So x is not our answer. We have to take and say, well, 5 plus 11 more would be 16. That's our answer. The large sack weighs 16 pounds. So moral of that one is pay attention. You might not have the answer once you found x. Okay, the cost of renting both a wedding tent and a dance floor for a party rental company is $2,300 total. So it says if the tent costs $1,540 more than the dance floor, what's the cost of renting the tent? Okay, once more, you got than and dance floor following it, so you should put X on the dance floor amount. The other one is $1,540 more than that. Okay, and in the interest of time, I'll just tell you how to set up the top and show you how to finish the problem. Okay, it's the cost of the tent plus the cost of the dance floor adds up to $2,340. Okay, and then I solved it, and I got x equals 380. And you can see some of the extra work I had to do on the side to do that. But, or over here. If I take that value of $380 and put it right there, I've got the cost of the dance floor, but they want the cost of the other one. So I have to add 380 plus 1540, and you can see the work down here is 1920. I'm kind of running out of room there, but that is the final answer here. Okay, moving right along, we got one more here. Example N. It says Jake's age is 5 more than triple his daughter's. So we're going to put an X on his daughter's age. And 5 more than, reversed addition, triple his daughter's. So what we have here is the sum is 61. So here's Jake's age. Once again, I have the wrong tool there. Jake's age plus his daughter's age adds up to 61. Combining 3x and 1x gives me 4x. Subtracting 5 takes me to 56 on the other side. Dividing by 4 gives 14. So his daughter's 14 years old. And if they asked us for his daughter's age, we'd be done. But they don't. They want to know what is Jake's age. So 3 times 14, 42 plus 5 is 47. That's the answer. Now, as a check, let's just take 47 plus 14 and see if it gives 61 here. Yep, we're good. So the answer is 47. So I hope this helps you as you're trying to complete this section 3.4.